Okay, hold on. Okay, let me just do a quick test. All right. Okay. Hello, parents. This is Coach John here from Learning Out of the Box. And first of all, want to wish you 恭喜发财, Happy New Year, and may all your wish come true. And today, it's been a long time since we had done Facebook Live. Yeah, because I'm also a PSLE parent and also busy helping my kid. And today, I have a good friend of mine, and her name is Sherina. And I have invited her to come here to share with all of you what are some of the tips and tricks to do well for Chinese competition. Right. So welcome, Sherina.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Yeah, okay. I guess not the best way to start a new year with lots of academics, but I think it's important because I know WA is coming out soon. And during this new year period, some parents are actually pretty worried, like how to prepare them, what's next. It's like, we are counting down just, I think about 6 to 7 months to PSLE. Yeah, so what I'm going to do today is to share more about composition.
Nice.
Yeah, so I
As
will start with
yes.
screen share, okay?
Okay. Yeah. So parents, if you are there and just say hi, and if you have any question, please feel free to post into the comments below, and then I will be telling Sharina what you have posted. Okay.
That would be great. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this is mainly for students that's P5, P6, of course, targeted for those that's taking PSLE with limited time left. Yeah, so well, without further ado, let's go through some of the concerns that parents always ask me. Yeah, these are their concerns. Chinese is bad, is number of words enough, need to memorize, model composition, and things like that. So before we even talk about how to write a good compo, we need to know the do's and don'ts first. Okay, and I think with this, we are able to settle what are your concerns at the back of your mind. Then we can truly prepare the students. Then the most common one is, my child is very weak in Chinese, very bad in Chinese, cannot express, cannot elaborate, don't know how to write anything. Okay, so I don't think this is really the key reason why students are not scoring. Okay, you need not use very fantasy words to be able to write well for composition. Okay, because sentences can be simple as long as it's error-free. It is impossible for you not to score. Okay, and then for words that you don't know how to write, in fact, later on I will be sharing how by just knowing like 15 to maximum 20 good phrases is more than enough for you to write a good compo. And the best part about it is these good phrases can be repeated. So this will actually tackle the issue of my child is unable to write. Unless today you are saying that my child is unwilling to do anything about Chinese at all. Okay, but to rethink about it, 20 good phrases for the next 6 months, I think is highly achievable. It's really not difficult. It seems a lot, but imagine a huge elephant. You just have to take small bites. You are able to swallow it one day. Okay, so this is really not a problem. Okay, trust me. Using simple words is already good enough for a start. I will explain more later. Then next thing is, because the requirement is not a lot. Okay, so some parents ask, the requirement 100 words, 150 is enough. Why do you want my child to write 2-3 pages? Now just think about it. Although we say that the criteria, say to go to secondary school or even JC or uni is to pass, do you think by just passing all subjects is enough for a child to go uni or a good JC or a good secondary? We all know the answer is no. So if you only do the bare minimum, you will not score well. Okay, so do take note. And then with that, it's like, how many good phrases must my child write? I would say a good 6 to 10 would be the bare minimum. And to think about it again, 6 to 10 good phrases, each good phrase is about 10 to 15 words. You have already covered the minimum number of words needed. Okay, so it is important for you to have something in your hand. Okay, I will share some good examples later on also. And then together with the 100 words, they'll be asking, is it a must to use all the given helping words? My answer is yes and no. Okay, because helping words is supposed to help you. If you are able to write better good phrases, Then the helping words. Okay, please, you don't have to die follow, I would say. Okay, helping words is to help those that are unable to express themselves. Okay, then the next thing is this. Is it good to memorize model composition? Well, this is actually one of the toughest question to answer sometimes. You know why? I won't say memorizing model composition is not good. In fact, it actually helps students who are pretty good, okay, to have more content for them to use, okay, and create their own from there. But if it's students that are very, very, very weak, that doesn't know how to be flexible in using the model composition, okay, and they just memorize and use it for examination, most probably they will be out of point. Okay, so my suggestion for this is, if you do have extra time, knowing the good composition's content can help, definitely. However, if your child is very weak, okay, and is unable to actually create their own sentence or content, it might not be ideal, because the child will just repeat everything that they have learned, rewrite everything, instead of following the necessary theme. They will go out of point, the effort will be wasted, and the child will think that it's a waste of time. So this is not the best way to learn actually. Okay, if you have time, go ahead. Okay, but if you have limited time, there might be more important things that you should be doing. Okay, then how many good phrases must my child learn? 50, 100, because they have from those books that they bought from Popular. They have got school, 听写默写, or good phrases, whole stack, or from tuition center. There are so many. Okay, I would say really a good 20 to 30 is more than enough. Okay, you no need 50, 100. Like, to describe anger, I have students that learn 20 of them, they know more than me, to be honest. But my question is very simple. Would your child be writing 20 good phrases on anger in one composition? We all know the answer is no. So why is it necessary to learn so many, whereby the anger description is pretty straightforward if you look through the past year PSLE pictures? Okay, so I will explain more later on this, and then what you can do to filter off what is necessary. Okay, then the next thing is this. Should I write 我 or 小明? Okay. Okay, then you will notice that if you know, or your child knows, right, from the same tuition class, different school, the classmate will be saying different things. My school teacher says this, the other school teacher will say that. Then who is correct? Okay, there's no right or wrong. Okay, it's just that when you choose to write 我, there are some criteria. When you choose to write 小明, there are also criteria. Okay, so it's not about every time writing 我 or 小明, you have to look at the composition to decide which is best. Okay, because this is restricted by the theme, okay, who has learned the lesson or who has done a good deed, and then perhaps even the age of the person. Once in a while, their composition whereby the key person is an adult. So it is very unlikely you will write 我. Okay, so we will look at examples later also to illustrate further. Okay, then how not to go out of point? Okay, because we always have students that 离题 or 不切题, and parents is like, it's picture composition. How is it possible that my child wrote out of point? It is possible. Okay, so how not to go out of point is important. It will decide whether your child will even pass. Okay, composition. Okay, I will explain more later also. And finally, of course, the key thing of today, how we can actually ace picture composition for PSLE. So when I sum up whatever that we are going through earlier on, I think we'll be able to ace it already. Okay, so without further ado, let's go into the details. Okay, pre-examination, what are the things that you need to prepare yourself with? Okay, there are a lot of good phrases. Okay, but I would say a good 3 basic sets. You should have more. Okay, but basic sets is the bare minimum. You need to know how to start and end. Okay, there are many ways that you can start and end. Some people will have 天气开头法. Some of them have got 对话. You can even have like a description of people. In the past, I'm a naughty child. Then after something happened, I become a good one. Okay, there are many, 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 many. Okay, you need to have a few. Okay, perhaps 3 types will be good. You can have weather, you can have a good dialogue if you know how to, or the change in person are the common ones. If not, bell ring, 铃放学的钟声响的。Then when you have a start, it is important for you to end 有始有终，你要前后呼应。So usually parents will ask students to memorize good phrases for opening, but they neglected the ending is equally important because the front and back needs to tally. If the front part is already talking about the theme of the composition, your ending must match. So please group them together as a set. Meaning to say, for the ending, there are some good phrases that you also need to memorize. For example, 正所谓赠人玫瑰，手有余香。正所谓吃一堑长一智。These are some basic, but make sure that it tallies. So when a child writes compo, you have to think how I'm going to flow everything from the start to the end. Okay, so this is set one. A good starting gives good impression. A good ending reminds the marker that you have written well. So when they give the marks, all these are also consideration. That impression is important. Okay. Second set is actions related. Why would I say that this is important? Because some students keep it really short. 小明往前跑，小明跑去课室，小明跑上前。Okay, it seems very easy, straightforward. Yes, but if you want to beautify it, these are actions that you need to extend. Like how do you run? 三步并作两步吗？一个箭步吗？ All these are important. So for weak students, right, you can always start with what you have written earlier. 小明跑上前帮老奶奶。Basic sentence structure correct already. Then we talk about beautifying. 好，可以用什么来替代？三步并作两步替代，或者一个箭步上前替代。Okay, so basic structure have already. Then you use the good phrases and replace it. Okay, so actions are the basic one. 妈妈说我是个好孩子，可以怎么样的说？会有什么样的动作？竖起大拇指，称赞我是个好孩子。So you can start looking through your own composition or the compos that you have done before. The actions are always the same few. You run towards a place from school to corridor, from school to the void deck, from school to MRT, from school to bus stop. How are you going to write that? Okay, and 称赞、责骂, all these are very straightforward things. The actions, okay, 来来去去都是这一些, so you should have a set of it. Then the most important one is actually feelings related. The whole composition, right, you can't run away from feelings. I feel angry about what the child has done. The child feel upset about it, feel embarrassed about it, feel sad about it. You see, there are so many. They are shocked about what happened. So you need to make sure that you have all this. 生气的、难过的、惭愧的、不好意思的、惊讶的、震惊的。Okay, all these feelings, you need to have at least one each. So this is what I meant by basic 3 steps. And with this, you should be easily able to replace and beautify your sentence. 妈妈生气的骂小明。Basic sentence, structure correct, good job. 怎么样的骂？妈妈面红耳赤的骂，妈妈火冒三丈的骂。Okay, so have the basic one, then you replace it. You will realize that lengthening your compo is really not difficult. Okay, but we start with making sure that your structure is correct first. So these are 3 areas that you can start filtering. And if you realize that after you have filtered your own notes from school, from tuition center, from your from popular or whatsoever, there are a lot, categorize them according to this, and then you filter maybe just 1 or 2 to learn. Okay, you no need every single thing. Okay, you don't have to do that. Okay, it's too much already. So this is what you should prepare yourself before the examination. Okay, you have this is a basic foundation. Then next thing is you need to know how to write well during examination. Okay, so this is where we talk about a few things. Number 1, helping words already, right? To make sure that you have it. Now, when it comes to helping words, right, I must mention the importance of e-dictionary. Does a child have an e-dictionary? Some parents say, oh, I would not want my child to have because my child will rely on it. At the start of the examination, he will start using the e-dictionary to write the compo already. I agree that is not the best practice. Okay, then if your child has this problem, please look at what are the common words that your child has been using e-dictionary. Okay, have that list of common words. Okay, make sure your child learn all these as spelling. Then time will not be wasted relying on e-dictionary. However, e-dictionary is still very helpful and useful. Why? Okay, in our generation, we use the dictionary, 偏旁部首汉语拼音, and you'll be searching, okay? Then the later generation is they can use the e-dictionary with the 汉语拼音, they can find the words. The problem is usually just about not choosing the correct word. But nowadays, e-dictionary is very different, okay? One thing, you can write. So helping words can really be helpful because you can write it out to check the meaning. I do have cases whereby students are being told you must use all the helping words, if not I will minus mark. Okay. The idea of this from teachers is good because some students are very weak. If they don't use the helping words, they won't have enough keywords. Okay, so the idea and intention is good. But we also have to remind students, when you want to use it, can you don't use it blindly? Can you please also check the e-dictionary? And there, this is the problem whereby students will say, but I don't know how to read the words. Then how am I supposed to check? Having this type of e-dictionary actually helps you because you're able to write and check. Okay. Second thing, students will tell me, but then again, Sherina, I check already. The meaning is all in Chinese. I still don't understand how. Hello. Nowadays, they have picture also, So even if you don't fully understand, you can look at the 词语搭配, or maybe there's even picture for you to understand. Okay, so no more excuses already. You have good tools, make use of it. Know the meaning, then there are true helping words. If not, you will have issues like not knowing what is 推车, not knowing what is 滚落, and then you'll be using it wrongly. I still remember a year whereby one of the keywords was 抢劫. So they thought that 抢劫 is actually the robber. So 抢劫, 这个抢劫抢了老奶奶的皮包. It's wrong already. Why? Because they didn't check. Okay, so if you have e-dictionary, make use of it and check. Now, this will actually give you a guide on the content flow. Okay, keywords are actually in order of the picture. So it helps you to have a rough idea of what are the keywords inside to allow you to flow well. Okay. However, this is still not enough. Whenever you have the picture during examination, the very first thing that you must tell yourself is, what is the theme? Okay, you need to know what is the theme, then you are able to write. Okay, very first thing, please write down. Okay, theme. Why am I saying that is important? Because by knowing the theme will make sure that you will not go out of point. And do take note, once in a while, some composition might have got two key things, a main one and a sub one. And this is something that's happening in recent years, especially school papers. Okay, so identify the theme, remind yourself, and the theme will be throughout your story to make sure that the key character is according to the theme. And when you want to end off this question mark, you end off with the correct good phrases, like those that you have to memorize the quotes. Okay, is correct. This will ensure that you will not go out of point. Okay, you must identify the theme first, number one. Okay, then it comes to number two. Whatever that's in a picture is there for a reason. Okay, please do not ignore anything. For example, okay, everything that's inside there is there for a reason. You need to mention everything that's there. Okay, everything must be mentioned. I know sometimes you say that it's like, oh, it's just at the bus stop, there are some calafes. Hello, they are there for a reason. So you need to think of how to write a compo to make sure that they are mentioned. Small little thing, even to the extent of looking at it. Okay, like for example, picture one, there's a sun. This is actually a clue to you on how you are going to start your compo. It's going to be daytime, they are going out. And this actually hints that, the reason why this mommy is so angry is because it is already late. Okay, but you see, details, I'm really talking about details. Can you please look at this watch carefully? What time is it? It's 2 p.m., right? But you see, I will have students that talk that, oh, it's morning, they went out, then they only came home at night. What am I going to do? I have to penalize you because you didn't follow the requirement. You didn't follow the picture. You didn't follow the details. Okay, so please make sure everything that's there, take a good look at it. Okay, understand why it's there. Start thinking how you're going to write. Then you will not go out of point. You will not be penalized. Okay, and you will have enough things to describe that will easily hit more than 200, 300, 400 words. Okay, you can easily write a 600 to 800 words compo. Okay, so that is the second thing. Everything that's there must be described. Okay, then the third thing is you need to make sure that there is a good bridging. What do I mean by the bridging? Okay, you need to be able to bridge from one picture to another picture. And this is where students have issue with paragraphing. Okay, now listen very carefully. When we are doing paragraphing, okay, it must really depends on the content. There is no such thing that picture 1 and 2 is always a paragraph, or picture 2 and 3 is always a paragraph. You have to look at this to decide. And how do you decide? Very simple. Okay, number 1, it depends on who is there. Is there any change in people involved? Okay, then, like for example, picture 1 talks about this sister and brother. Picture 2 talks about a Lao Nai Nai. There is a change in the character that is in the picture. Then it should be a new paragraph. Second thing to help you to decide is where. 在哪里? Where? Picture 1 obviously is at home. Picture 2 is outside with Lao Nai Nai. So you cannot write 1 and 2 together. Okay, this is how you decide. But one look at it, you will notice that 2 and 3 can be done together. Why? Because it's at the same location with the same group of people doing related things. Okay, then some students will say, should I put picture 4 together also? My suggestion is no. We seldom put three pictures into one paragraph. 2 is good enough. Okay, so this is how you decide how you paragraph it, and then from there you bridge. Bridging means how you, from first picture, one paragraph, second, third picture, another paragraph, how do you bridge over so that your story is smooth? Because the two kids need to travel somewhere to meet the Lao Nai Nai. There is no way they are able to teleport themselves. One moment they are at home, next moment they are on the road. Okay, which is a reason why students do not score well, because they failed to have a bridge. 过渡，他们没有一个过渡 ，and 过渡 can be as simple as 他们出去的时候走着走着，不知不觉，不一会儿 all these are basic 2-3 words only. Okay, you don't even have to memorize per se, but it's important for you to elaborate all this, okay, to separate the content and the paragraph, okay, the bridging. Then when you have this, you have the theme, you have everything mentioned, you know what are the bridging and how you paragraph. Then with that, we talk about the next important thing, okay, which will actually decide whether you are able to score very well. Okay, good phrases. And my suggestion to students is very simple. Okay, you need to plan. Okay, you really need to plan. I always tell my students, if you fail to plan, okay, you plan to fail. I repeat, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Planning is important, but students do not have luxury of time to write a very long plan. So you can make use of the picture to plan. With the bridging, with the theme, the next thing is to take note of what are the good phrases. So, for example, what I will do is I identify that perhaps it's a very sunny morning, they want to go out to do maybe some sports. Okay, then I will have one good phrases that is related to weather. Second picture, I look at the three of them. 老奶奶的样子, I will describe. I have my second good phrases. 两个小朋友的样子, I have the third good phrases. Okay, this child from this location here went over to pick up the thing. That is an action. Okay, so this action here, I will have another good phrases. Okay, when we are done with it, okay, Lao Nai Nai is very happy and say thank you. I will have further description, good phrases. They are happy of the good deed. Look at the smile over there. Another good phrases. They realize that they are late and they ran home. A good phrases. The look of mommy is so angry. Another good phrases. When I end off 正所谓, another good phrases. You see, easily I can have 9. And you just have to label them and perhaps write some keywords that is important for yourself to remember to write, it is enough. You don't have to write out the good phrases at all. Okay, but with that, it becomes a good checklist for yourself. I look at my picture, I know what I have done. If I have written the good phrases, I can give myself a tick, done. You see, very easy. You don't have to do those like, long point form, not necessary. Make use of the picture, okay? Use less than 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes is more than enough already to decide what you want. And of course, not forgetting the helping words, you can also put it in accordingly. Okay, then with all this, you are now good to start writing composition. Okay, then with that, you will notice it doesn't matter whether your child gets to see similar content before. Because as long as you follow these 4 things, any composition in your child's hand, the child is able to do well. It's like a checklist for you. Step 1, look for this. Step 2, look for what? Step 3, step 4. The steps are always the same for every single picture composition. Follow the steps. Okay, just follow the steps. Nothing missing, content all there. The teacher cannot penalize you. Then you're able to score. It's very, very easy. Okay, then with this, let's move on to the details. All right. Okay, so details of this. Hold on. Okay. First part is done already. Planning. Okay, and then content. 过渡. Okay, next is the key thing whereby parents that want students to score like from 28 to 35, they will be asking how, or 35 to 38, or even 40, how. Good phrases is key. Okay, it's not about adding additional content into the picture. I repeat, please do not add in unnecessary content in the picture, especially in picture 6. Because if throughout the picture has only these 4 main characters, you don't add another 2 or 3 more person, unless it is reasonable. Okay, you add in extra and you write too long, you will be penalized. Okay, bare minimum first, look at the good phrases. Okay, so I would like to share some today. Okay, some good phrases that you can look at. Like I mentioned earlier on, you look at the picture, then you decide. So when you look at this, you need to think of how you want to 开头. Okay, you should have a handful, like I mentioned, about 3 or 5. So is it about a child that has changed? Is it about a good weather? Is it about school? Because all these are very common one. You decide from there. So for this one, most probably I will actually keep it simple. A good weather, or just as simple as have you ever helped someone before? Okay, but mine is a different situation whereby it actually leave a deep impression in mind. I might use it. Okay, why? Because I just want to share a little bit some changes over here because some of you all might not be aware. When you want to write about good weather, you must make sure it is reasonable. That means if you want to write a good weather, you have to mention why this good weather is important. Is it because you are going somewhere to the park? Okay, to exercise, to play, or what? If there is no reason why you need to write a paragraph about a good weather and you wrote it, the teacher don't find it necessary, okay, you will not be awarded. Meaning your 4-5 minutes of writing is wasted. I repeat, okay, the slight change in marking is this. In the past, if you are able to write a good weather, 1 paragraph, 4-5 lines, wow, good job, well done, a tick. Now, maybe your teacher will cancel it off. Why? Because it is not logical. This is one change. Really take note. If you don't have a good reason why you have to write that 4 lines of good weather, nothing later on is related to that good weather, please don't write. If not, find a reason why you have to use the good weather. Okay. If not, I would rather you just like 一天, really, because you're wasting time only. Okay, this is one change. Okay, take note of this. Okay, then with that good word, with that opening thought of already, together with it is you need to think of the ending because 前后呼应. So this is also a reason why I would consider maybe I would say, okay, have you helped someone before? Okay, and then how does it actually affect you? Because this helping is my theme. And then my ending will also be a theme about 助人为快乐之本. Okay, 赠人玫瑰手留余香. 我一定是前后呼应. I have already decided my opening and ending. Okay, then I will continue with the rest of the good phrases that is important. Okay, so Some good phrases. This is a typical one. I chose this because there are many good things that you can actually consider to use here. Okay, what I want to share is this. Typical good phrases that you need to have. Okay, opening and ending mentioned already. So you are going to a certain place. Good phrases that you need to know and learn, okay, include this part here. The look of them. Okay, the look of them. 看到这一幕。A lot of students will say, 他看到老奶奶跌倒了，吓了一跳。不够。Better way of 看是看到这一幕。Okay, you can choose to write 看到这一幕。This is one good way for you to write 看到这一幕。OK， 然后他们的样子，老奶奶怎么样？东西倒了，她可能很担心，对吗？她吓得怎么样？这两个人眼睛跑不掉的，一定是目瞪口呆。Okay, so these are really basic good phrases. You go and look at the past year PSLE pictures. You can't run away from these words. 目瞪口呆，一定会有的，一定会有的。Okay, then the next thing is this. 他们吓得目瞪口呆之后 okay, the meaning of 目瞪口呆 is you are shocked. Okay, you are shocked, you are stood rooted to the ground. The little problem over here is students say that they are shocked, they are still rooted to the ground, and then the next moment the child is able to pick up something. Still not logical enough. Okay, so you need to have a bridge over. You can say 回过神来. That means you recollected your senses. 回过神来，连忙上前. Okay, when you recollected your senses, what would you do? So another good phrase, actually more than that, you must have for action is about 三步并作两步 and 一个箭步. So I always tell my students, just remember this. 3、2、1. 为什么呢？因为是三步并作两步，还有一个箭步。Just remember 3, 2, 1. These are two phrases that you use it very often in almost every composition. 我三步并作两步的向前，我一个箭步向前。The slight difference is this. 一个箭步 is really a step. So the distance is very near, just suitable for this picture. 三步并作两步 is you have to take a few steps. Okay, so you depend on the distance, you will use it. And most probably you'll use it in your compo, both of them. Okay, very common. So take note, this is also a must-have. Basic, really basic good phrases. Kids, if you're watching this, right, please, whatever words I'm sharing over here, they are not difficult. Really not difficult. It's just a couple of them, but it's more than enough for you, okay, to write your compo, a better compo for a start. Okay, next thing, very, 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 very common. You have helped someone. Thank you, good job, right? So what is it that you must mention? 竖起大拇指。Okay, 竖起大拇指 is really the basic. 竖起大拇指，称赞谁和谁是好孩子。Then you don't stop there. After they have praised, you need to mention how they feel. 所以你一定要提到的是心里甜滋滋的。如果不记得，那你就写心里乐开了花。Okay, bare minimum again. 心里乐开了花 is also very easy, guys. Very easy. Okay, so I repeat, this is a set. First thing, you have to talk about 竖起大拇指. Okay, praise you, you need to be happy. So it comes together hand in hand. So always remember, as long as it's about praising, you must talk about how you praise, 竖起大拇指, the person will feel very happy, 心里乐开了花. Okay, it comes as a set. Now, next one, okay, very common one is angry. Angry, my suggestion is learn 2. Okay, because it's very common that you might need it twice. There are some composition whereby angry one time, then after that the mom is angry, teacher is angry, or whosoever is angry. So at least 2. Okay, what are the basic? 你可以说气得火冒三丈. Right, I'm sure most of the students know this. 火冒三丈. Okay, 七窍生烟. Okay, 或者像一座快爆发的火山，像一座快爆发的火山。火山 is also not difficult to write, isn't it? 火山. So there are 2 already, and it gives the visual image. It's not difficult. Okay, then you end off with telling the parent what happened or telling the teacher what happened, depending on the story. But this is also a very common one that you must memorize. 我把事情的来龙去脉一五一十的告诉谁 ？So common one, really very common. Okay, 然后他听了可能说什么 ？Then you end off. Okay, so over here, these are really some basic good phrases that you must have. Okay, bare minimum for you to write. Okay, so good phrases to share over here. Make sure you have them. I'm only sharing the minimum. If you have got longer phrase, go ahead and use yours. Okay, go ahead and use yours. Okay, now the other thing that I want to highlight over here is, remember just now I was talking about 我 and Xiaoming. Now look at this picture. If you look at this picture and you ask yourself, right, can I use 我? The answer is no. Why? Because based on the theme, see, it is back to the theme again. The theme is about a good deed. This good deed is done by 2 persons, not 1. So, no, you cannot use 我. So, you should use like 姐姐跟小明或者小丽和小花, whichever. Okay, you cannot use 我. So, this is how you decide. Okay, based on the theme, who is the main character? If it's more than 1 person, no, you cannot use 我 already. Don't say 我和姐姐. Okay, because how do you decide who is the main one? Both of them are equally important, isn't it? Okay, so you cannot justify. Okay, next thing. Okay, under what situation I would not recommend you all use 我? If in any case the key person, let's say, is the 老奶奶, which is not this, okay, not this example, I'm just saying, if it's a old people that is not of your age, okay, not a child, please don't write 我. The idea of 我 is you being able to think like them, which you are not. Okay, so please don't. So I would say in general, it is still very safe if you are writing, okay, 小明 or 小花. All right, Ken. So this is actually what I would like to share with you all. Okay, and I hope that I have answered your query in terms of minimum number of words, good phrases, how to make sure that you will not go out of point. Make sure that you know the theme first, okay, before you start writing anything, and even how to plan in less than 5 minutes. All right, so yep, that is pretty much what I would love to share with everyone actually. John, do you think there's anything else that you want to know as a PSLE parent yourself?
Hey, thanks, Sherina, for covering all this. I think as I'm hearing you for the past 45 minutes, I was pretty much mind blown. And I was reflecting as a PSLE parent, whether is my girl prepared for it at all? Yeah, because I was thinking, wow, yes, these are words that you have covered, in fact, are not unfamiliar to us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just thinking whether is there a way to get this list? Because I think it's also something that parents will be very keen, and how can they compile their own list?
Okay, if you have a lot already and your child have already memorized, as I mentioned earlier on, right, you can compile and filter. I think do it with your child is important, because sometimes what a parent think that is good doesn't mean what a child is able to handle, to be honest. So if you have the list, okay, filter according to the 开头 and the 结尾, according to certain actions and feelings. Okay, create your own notes is actually a quite fun process, because from there you can also test the child whether the child understood, and the child will also know whether I'm able to handle such words. Sometimes I think it's really okay if you don't have like those 15-20 words long good phrases. But if the child is able to handle a 12 words error-free good phrases, isn't it even better? Because no marks will be deducted. Yeah. Then of course, if not, I actually have my own vocab cards for my students. Okay, that y'all can also purchase and consider also. Yeah, there's special discount for LOB members, okay?
Great. Yeah, for parents who are keen to take a look at the cards, or Sherina, are you able to spend like the next 1 minute to cover where can the parents get a card or how they can contact you? Or maybe at the start, you can share how the cards look like. Then you can end off with they can contact you to tell them that they are from LOB and they can get a discounted price from you. Would that be okay?
Sure. Okay, so well, for parents that is interested, you can actually either go to my website easychineseedu.com to understand more. If not, I can just have a very quick sharing over here. Okay, for y'all to see. what I do with my students. So this is actually ideas from my students also, because my students also complain, Sherina, so many words, how to remember, so boring, so hard, they can't visualize. So what I have is actually 35 cards, okay, that I have created that is very visual for my students. So it is by color, like 开头发 is actually one color that they need to memorize. Okay, and then others like, you know, 竖起大拇指 or bad things, 心里乐开了花, all these are pictures that they can remember. So like fell down, there is also a standard phrase that they have. It comes together with a video. So each card I have a video to explain, okay, the meaning, how to use it, or even suggestion on how you can shorten it or even lengthen it according to individual needs. At the end of the day, I hope that these cards are customized for themselves according to what they have learned or they want to learn. Then when they have everything learned, they will realize that all they need is just a picture in their brain. Any picture that they are given, they are able to just grab the information, the idea, the picture into their compo, and they can easily have like, you know, 10 good phrases for each composition. Yeah. So for more details, right, maybe we can share the link later, then they can go to our site, to your site also, to understand more, because I think we have some details about it.
I think what will be one good contact way will be you share with them your phone number. I mean, if it's okay with you, then they will just text you. Because nowadays, I think parents are very fast and they prefer to WhatsApp, and they also want a direct reply.
From the creator, right?
Yeah. And probably they have also some questions, and I think one of the common questions will be, what if my child doesn't like to memorize, or what my child is at this state, or what if my child is scoring this mark? Does the card fit my kid? Yeah. So I think okay. So parents, you can contact Sherina at 91125884.
Yep.
91125884, and then let her know that you are from LOB. LOB stands for Learning Out of the Box, and so she can give you at the discounted price.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so before we end off, is there any like one last minute tip that you can give to parents that you can wrap it up within 1 minute?
1 minute, okay. I think parents, students nowadays is very different from our time. They do have some ideas of what they want and what they can and what they can do. So I would strongly suggest you can work with your child to see what your child needs exactly or what they prefer exactly, so that learning is a lot more fun with less resistance. Okay, work closely with the child is key, okay, for learning to even start. So composition is just a segment that is important. If your child is really weak, perhaps you can even sit down with them and ask, which area do you think that you need help most, but you are also very confident that you can score better. Start with that, build the confidence, and then the rest will really be easy. Chinese can really be easy. Yeah. So work closely with them.
Yes, so parents, as you have heard it, whatever your child is going through is part of the learning process, and I believe that as a parent, there's still time to improve, to the next grade that your child wants or you want. Okay, so with that, Sharina, thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next Facebook Live.
Okay, Ken. Thank you so much, John. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, good night. Okay, just give me